Good morning, everyone, or good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to the final live preview for Prop Store's Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. We are now less than 24 hours out from the event. We're getting started tomorrow, December the 1st at 2 p.m. London time, which is 9 a.m. on the east coast of the U.S. and 6 a.m. on the west coast of the U.S. And we're selling about half the lots tomorrow, around 450 lots. And then the second half of the auction content will be sold on Wednesday, starting at exactly the same time. So if you've been tracking the auction, if you've got your catalog and you've been going through, putting some post-it notes in, you've figured out what you want to bid on, do a little bit of mental math, see if you can figure out approximately when your lots are going to be so that you're sure you don't miss anything. Auction.com tomorrow, and you'll be able to see exactly where we are with the bidding. If you haven't registered yet, there's still time. Lucky for you, there is still time. We'll still take your bids. So feel free to sign up on the website at propstore.com/live auction or send in a paper form. There's 3 different ways you can bid. You guys probably all know this. You've done this before, but I'll just recap anyways. There's 3 different ways that you can bid. You can bid on the telephone in real time, you can bid online in real time, or you can bid via what is called absentee bid, which means basically you're bidding in advance, and you can do that with the paper form that's found in the catalog and on our website, or you can do that through the electronic bid system. So plenty of ways to bid. Don't worry about that. We'll get your bids in there. You do need to be registered to bid, so it's probably better that you get that registration done today rather than waiting for tomorrow, just because tomorrow will be a little last minute, and I know Prop Store fans don't like to procrastinate. So on that note, let me stop procrastinating and tell you a little bit about the content that is here. Just so everybody's clear, the auction does take place in London. I'm not in London. It's actually the first time in many years that I haven't gone. Thank you, COVID. I'm here in our LA office, and what we have here is just a few of the items that, even though they're being sold out of the London auction, they are stored in LA. So these pieces are in LA. If you win them, they will ship to you from our LA office. And I'm going to get started by talking about something that I love, favorite film of mine, don't judge me, Willow. Willow, as you may know, is a George Lucas project. Came out in 1988. It was made in the UK, made by a lot of the same people who worked on Lucas's better-known projects like the Star Wars films and the Indiana Jones films. And for me, one of the standout characters of Willow is absolutely General Kale. This is an original General Kale costume right here. I hope you guys are seeing it. I hope it's in frame. Sorry, we have just static cameras today due to social distancing and such, but this is the Willow costume. The mask is what I really love on this thing, the skull mask that they created. And it's actually a fiberglass faceplate that's attached to a latex cap at the back, and it pivots up and down. So I think you don't see a lot of it, but you do see at some point in the film the actor pivoted up. And of course, General Kale is played by Pat Roach, who's better known for being in all the Indiana Jones films, right? He's always the big heavy in the Indiana Jones films. And General Kale takes his name from the film critic Pauline Kael, well-known film critic at the time. Obviously, the writers and Lucas were having some fun with the names. And the other name that plays on film critics as well is, of course, the Ebersisk monster. This is an original maquette for the Ebersisk, which was made by Phil Tippett, well-known ILM creature designer who I think was out on his own as Tippett Studios by this time. And this is, I believe, the final design maquette for the Ebersisk, which is the 2-headed dragon, of course, that shows up in the film. It was a stop-motion puppet, fire-breathing dragon. I'm sure you guys all remember it. But this is one of the other great Willow pieces that we have in the auction. And then, if I can pick this up, let's see if I've been doing my weight training. I've got a hefty sword here. This is General Kale's sword as well. So 2 separate lots. We've got the costume in one and the sword in another. I love this piece because of the construction. This thing weighs a ton. It's an aluminum blade, but the handle especially, maybe it's got some steel hardware on it, the handguard down here, and the pommel down at the end. This sucker is weighty. And what it reminds me of as well, a little tie-in segment here, is the Kurgan sword from Highlander. So if you guys know the original 1986 Highlander film, the Kurgan sword is somewhat similar in its design. It's another big, heavy sword. And I think these 2 films, Willow and Highlander, shared the same prop master. So I don't know for a fact, but I would venture a guess that General Kale's sword and the Kurgan sword for Highlander were made by the same prop maker in the UK. And we actually have at least one sword from Highlander in this auction. I don't believe we have the Kurgan sword, but we do have a very nice Ramirez katana. So if you haven't seen that already, take a look at that. in the catalog. See if I can get this back in place without disturbing anything. Just gonna set that down on the table because I'm not sure exactly how we had it in the stand. Okay, what else can I tell you about that's here in Los Angeles today? How about the Power Rangers costumes? So we did a video on these last week. If you want to see more of the Power Rangers costumes, check out the video that we did on Tested. But we do have the full set of 6 Power Rangers costumes from the 1995 Power Rangers movie. And the vast majority of these are original. I believe the Red Ranger helmet is a replica, but other than that, the components are largely original. They're a mixture of hero and stunt. Some of the helmets, like I believe the blue helmet here is marked Hero Dark Working Set. Dark is a reflection of the visor, and whether it's a dark visor for close-up shots or a light visor that would have been used for stunt sequences that would allow them to see a little bit better. The yellow helmet over here is noteworthy because it has these lights on the top and it has electronic cables and such inside of it. I think there's only one shot in the film where you actually see the Yellow Ranger with these lights on the top of the helmet. It's a little bit of a continuity issue. Essentially, they cut to the character and all of a sudden there are lights where there were no lights previously. But the kids weren't questioning it in 1995, so why should you question it now? This is the Yellow Ranger helmet with lights, and you can see the cables that are coming out of the inside of it. And the marking in this one is simply labeled yellow. So it's got some foam padding in there. All of the Power Rangers helmets are seamed. You know, there's a separate faceplate to backplate. They're seamed down the sides, and they have different locking mechanisms. They lock with keys. Some of them lock in with Velcro. I think this one has little ball and socket latches that are in there that hold the front to the back. So that is the Yellow Ranger helmet, and again, it's part of the full Yellow Ranger suit. All the helmets are being sold with their costumes. The helmets are the nicest parts, in my opinion. You know, the helmets, just A, the design, but B, the quality. They're reasonably well-made fiberglass helmets as well. The suits are showing a little bit of their age, but they're still very nice suits, a little bit more like armored bat suits, superhero, that sort of thing. They've got a bit more going on with them. Everybody's still with us? I hope the devices are still going. We are on multiple social platforms right now, so we are going out on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. For your viewing pleasure, you can pick whichever platform you'd like. I want to take a quick note to remind everybody, we do still have a few catalogs available, so if you want to have a copy of the printed catalog, they're great just for future reference. They have a nice uniform look. They're starting to look very good next to each other on a bookshelf. They go all the way back to 2014, which was when we did our first auction, so hopefully you've been collecting. And honestly, they're a great way to see all the lots that are going to be sold over the next 2 days. So if you don't have a catalog, you can still take a look at the website, and you should be able to get one. Unlikely we'll get it to you before the auction tomorrow. So if you just want to see the lots, then you really want to be looking at that online catalog, either the PDF or the bidding platform. I have some other content around me. I don't know how much everybody can see. I know we're a little bit limited in our field, but let me tell you about this costume. This is a Stallone costume from Creed. And this is his streetwear costume. Nice thing about this is how complete it is. It's got the glasses. It's been put together on a custom character display with a sculpt of Stallone's head that presents it really nicely. And I'll just take off Rocky's signature small fedora here. And this one has got a nice tag in it. You can see a green tag here for the Rocky Hero hat. So that's a nice piece. It's made by a hatter called Baron, which is a well-known hatter here in Los Angeles. And yeah, I would say evidence of light wear in the band there. And of course this green tag, production tags, is what we all love to see. And there's even some props in the pocket of the jacket. There's a couple of newspapers and brochures and pamphlets down there. We have a selection of models in the auction from Moon. If you guys know Moon, Moon is a film that was done by Duncan Jones, starring Sam Rockwell. I think it came out about 2009. And there's some great model miniatures from Moon in this auction. So we have the shuttle over here next to me, the Lunar Industries shuttle. We have the Lunar Industries rover over here. If you can see it, I won't pick it up because it is a little bit delicate. But this is the six-wheeled moon rover vehicle that Rockwell's character, drives around the planet's surface to go out and check out all the activities that are happening. And these models were built by a group led by Bill Pearson, a very well-known UK model maker, and Steve Howarth. Bill Pearson is best known for working on the original Alien. So these models have a bit of a lineage to Alien, and the film, dare I say, it has a bit of an Alien flavor to it. So that great kind of retro sci-fi vibe. So if you don't know the movie, highly recommend a watch. It's a very good film, and as I say, we have some great models that are in this one. Over there, to my left, if you can see it, that is a complete Alien Warrior costume from Alien 3. So that was made by ADI, Amalgamated Dynamics, which is Tom Woodruff and Alec Gillis. They were two veterans of Aliens. The second film, they had worked on that at Stan Winston's shop, and then sometime after that they filmed their own company, and they wound up doing all the alien effects for Alien 3. So I really like Alien 3. I think it's great, you know. I think it's a lot of fun. It's sort of a very smart David Fincher film. And I love the suit also, especially the head, the head of the alien, the dome. They went back to the semi-translucent, clear vacuum-formed cover piece where you can just make out, looking through it, the hints of the ridges that were kind of part of the signature look of the first film. So it's different to the second film where they took that dome off and they just had the creature's skull showing. They went back to the smooth dome. It's kind of blended in with a lot of airbrushing. Amazing paintwork on this. The bodysuit itself is foam latex. Of course, it's somewhat rigid with time, and I think it's actually absorbed a lot of the paintwork over time, so it has a slightly muddier look to what it originally had in film, but the head, especially the dome, is brilliant, and because it's mostly fiberglass, it looks, you know, just like the day it was shot. It does have a little bit of restoration, so I believe the tongue, which is probably removable, was added afterwards. Also the neck and some of the pieces on the sides of the mouth were added in afterwards. But the bodysuit itself is possibly the only, or the full costume I should say, possibly the only surviving alien costume, Alien Warrior, from Alien 3. And it is complete with the gloves and the feet and the tail as well. So if you're an Alien fan, that's a great piece. Definitely the only one we've ever handled, and maybe the only Alien 3 costume in existence. Matt, how are we doing from the other room? We have any questions coming in on the social feed?
Nothing specific to what you're covering here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions anyone wants to throw out about the auction in general that we can answer? While I'm here, while you've got me, of course, we're still available. We are available pretty much around the clock at this point. We've got people working in London and in Los Angeles, so just get in touch, propstore.com. You can call us on the phone. You can email us. You can leave us questions or comments on social media. We'll be happy to help out and make sure that you are all ready to get started for bidding tomorrow. Okay?
No questions from
Any
us.
final notes? All right. Well, if you come up with any questions, as I say, we're here. We're looking forward to chatting with you. I hope you've enjoyed following along the live streams. You know, we've done a number out of the UK. If you didn't see those, go back and take a look. There's live streams on Star Wars content. There's live streams on swords and on sci-fi content. There's Top Lots live streams that just cover some of the best highlights in the auction. There's all sorts of video content. So if you were interested in getting a better look at something, it may exist somewhere in that live stream. Please go in and take a look, because fortunately once those go out on social, they do stay there. So they are still available for you, especially on Facebook and maybe YouTube. Instagram, maybe they don't stay, but check out the 3 social channels. You'll find them somewhere. And until next time, yeah, we thank you for watching, and we thank you for participating in the auction, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Cool.
Good? All done?
Yeah, nice job. We have a weird thing where it looked absolutely fine on here, but we couldn't find the live stream on like actual YouTube.